Start it to the east, start it to the west. Back in my day, we didn't have computers.
Everything around here is fucking magnets.
Just make sure you get rid of the drippings.
All the way out?
Yeah, get it out.
He's all about the dry jacket.
No wonder your balls is hurting.
Keep going. Keep going.
Just a swinging.
No, we could have done this way, shadier. Yep. All right, we're getting back started on these brakes here. I'll try to salvage these lines. Let's see if I can't get everything to fit up all nice. Let's see what happens when I hit it with my purse. There we go. And my fingernail. I was curious because on the new master cylinder, front is rear and rear is front. I don't see it marked here anywhere, but not that it really matters, but I just got to remember that when I hook it up over here. All right. As you can see, we have front and the back and rear and the front, and I loosely have these installed. I'm gonna throw some washers on each side behind here, and then we'll see about hooking them all up. Ordered some black washers, but they came in and they were way too small. I didn't really pay attention, I guess, to what I was ordering, so I just painted some. Gotta do a trick. Now fitting all this down here is what's gonna be the problem. And there's the setup. So I'm tightening down. All right, and no, I didn't bench bleed the master, obviously. I've never bench bleeded a master. All that does is create a mess when I do it. So I've had better luck just doing it on the vehicle. So let me see if I can get all these lines figured out where they go, hooked up. I got a little T for the front because you got two coming up, and then in the back is just one. So, all right, so this goes to the front part of the master. This is the driver's side. So I'm just curious. Okay, we're missing a clip here to hold that in. But if it was in, trying to get it out of the way for everything, really. I mean, I can make new lines. If I could use these, that'd be cool too. So, luckily the Nissan used same threads M10x1 for like every vehicle, so these all match up. I'm gonna clean these actually. I'm gonna cut that brush all up in underneath my fingernail. We're not building no submarine here, but if we was, we'd want to clean that. So, and then this one goes on to from the other side. I'm not trying to kink these lines, but I will if I have to. Which obviously I don't want to, but it might be in business. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What? Come on. Like I said, I might end up redoing these lines, but for now, which means forever, it'll probably run something like that. But we have this here for the rear brakes. It's supposed to match up to right here, so I'll get a little union, do a little bending, and we'll be good to go. I know it's not exactly, you know, pretty, but we'll see if we can't tuck it away a little bit more, and I might mess around and at least replace this one, because it's, you know, the one that's sticking out the most. But now we gotta work on the pedal, because there ain't one there. Okay, so here's the end we have. It's a threaded rod with a nut. Here's the Xterra threaded rod with nut and this thingamabob. And we got a couple more thingamabobs right here. I don't remember which is which. This is probably the brakes, I'm assuming. They're slightly different, it looks like. Maybe not, I don't know. One's uglier. And here's what we have right here. So we already know thingamabob goes through here, gets connected with the pin. So, and it's the same style for the parts I utilize on this new braking system and the Xterra. So which thingamabob are we gonna use? And then I mounted the brake master cylinder a little bit to the left, so I'm thinking utilize this pedal. Kind of small, but and then we have, as you can see, it's like spacers made into it. So I'm gonna keep this one here. I'll probably just chop this off, and I might even bend that on over a little bit. And I might weld something larger, because, well, yeah, it's not big enough. So let's see what works best. So it's hard to see. There's some kind of like clip in there that holds this in. It's not really the same. So I'm gonna see about if that'll work. I'm gonna break this loose real quick. Watch me bust this nut. Hold on. Oh yeah. Let's see if that's the same thread. All right, Nissan. Don't fail me now. Oh, baby. Yes, sir. What it is and what it ain't. Yeah. Yeah. That is right. Now, I have a feeling that this is still, even with the spacers, going to be too far in. So, let's mock it up and see what needs to be done. So we got a big bolt, big nut, runs through this. So I'm gonna try to set her on up here. Then we need to chop them babies off first before I do anything. One of them's already loose, so I might be able to smack these babies out. Okay, that one fell out. Alright, I give up. It don't take much for me to give up. What the hell that metal made of? It smells god awful. Shoot, that's dang near sanded. I might paint this. Oh, it's still hot. Alright. That's not great. It's not the end of the world, but also, to be fair, I don't remember how I removed this, so I'm not exactly sure where it's supposed to go. I'm gonna have to look back on one of my own videos to see how that went together. Alright, so this is how it went. That hole's supposed to line up with that hole. That hole's supposed to line up with that hole. But because of the position, the master cylinder still being slightly more in the cab than it should be, that's not gonna happen without opening up that hole. I think is my easiest solution. And then, for example, if this was still on there, which obviously it's not, but if it was, it would still kind of line up. So I think I can work with that. So I'm thinking about just opening up the hole. All right, I gave it a thought for about 30 seconds, and yeah, I've decided the right thing to do is just cut this up, make this hole bigger. My only caveat with that is I think I'm gonna have to end up cutting over here just to clear, and I'm scared that the structural integrity of this may be compromised. But you know, you win some, you lose some. I don't know if it's this cutting wheel got something on it, smell awful, or if it's whatever this is made out of. God bless, man, this thing stinks. I know what you're thinking, probably could just use the hole saw, but with the angle I was trying to get, I feel like the hole saw would just skipped around, and me and hole saws don't get along very well anyway. But I'll make you a deal. Because it's ugly, I'll paint it. Because it can't be ugly and not paint it. It's one or the other. So, these are awesome pliers, but I'm sure as you can see, they're slightly magnetic. And the only thing magnetic they pick up is fucking metal shavings. So annoying. Alright, so while test fitting, I noticed it was still hitting right here and right here. Used a little paint trick. It was hitting the nuts to the master cylinder. So I'm gonna drill some clearance holes out. See if we can make this any more ghetto. I think we can. Looks like the holes, looks like they're clearing the nuts. I might still make them a little bit bigger just for easier fitment when I throw it up in there, but it does need me to sacrifice right here, so. Trying to deburr everything because I don't want to cut that boot on the master cylinder. We're close, we're real close for even the holes right here to line up. But these two holes are not big enough. It clears the stud but not the nut of the master cylinder, so I'm gonna get a different wire mount. I can't find my other step bits, so I guess I am using this one. Starting to catch there, so I don't mind not using lube, but I'll throw some lube on there.
No wonder your balls are hurting.
All right, drilled it out a little bit more than what I could do with that. And now they pretty much line up. So I'm gonna throw some bolts in, and we're clearancing everything. I'm gonna put that rod in and see how close we are to actually hitting that on the money. I'm doing some test fitting, and it needs to go to the left. So I'm gonna bend this like that, and then right past where it hits, I'm gonna bend it back the other way. So let's see how well that works. I'm gonna keep it creamy with you. I ain't really done nothing to this truck in 2 months, so I don't even remember where I left off at. So I do know this needs to be cut because I just need this little sleeve. So that's what we're gonna do. Perfect dish. Well, while that cools down, I've clearanced out the holes a little bit, right there and there, so this bolt will actually go in. And I'm gonna bend this. I think I might bend this a little bit more. Let's do that. Make sure you do this with a bunch of flammables nearby. Oh yeah, that bent's a lot easier. Now, I might be dumb, but I'm not stupid. I'm gonna let that sit there and cool off as well. She just slightly cattywampus that way, which is what I need. Do another test fit once it cools off. I might bend this pedal a little bit that way, but with not a lot of room, I might leave it there, just depending on if it hits the floorboard, you know. So we'll go from there. All right, I finally got it mounted up, and that's pretty much dead nut straight on. I'm gonna have to drill a new hole for the brake pedal. I can adjust this in a little bit more. There's a few threads left, and I might do that because that's pretty high. Like I said, I might take this back out and move this over a little bit, just depending once we get the gas situated. I might not, I don't know, until I really get the seat up in here and the gas pedal there to see if I want to move it over, because as you can see, there's not a whole lot of space here, but it does kind of look too far to the left, so I need to drill a new hole. But first I'm gonna go ahead and finish up tapping into these brakes right here. Gotta bend that brake line and get it connected. All right, I got it tightened up. I tightened these up, and the ones at the bottom of the master cylinder, I went ahead and tightened them up. But enough with the brakes for now. I have new door sills, believe it or not, new used door sills, and I'm gonna try to install them. I'm gonna do this first because I only had to disconnect 3 connectors, and I got a bunch of whole stuff over there. I ain't trying to mess with it, but apparently, according to the Facebook groups, you could take a 98-06 Volvo S80 front only door seals, and apparently they just simply fit. You can use the rear, I read, but you gotta cut them down. But I found some at the junkyard, and for the low price of $10, I figured it might be worth trying it out. Get a trash can for this. I think most of this time is just going to be trying to get this old stuff out, because it is melted into the metal, it looks like. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a lot of work with a steel brush here. I don't really want to use a wire wheel because it just runs straight through the paint. I don't know. I might try one of them 3M wheels. Yeah, that's not doing anything. It's just using up all the, whatever the hell this stuff is. I don't understand. We shall prosper. Here's what I'm working with. This stuff is just caked on there, and it just will not come off. So on the outside of the door, it's coming off decently. But also, these used to be Phillips head screws, and well, they're not much of anything now. So I'm gonna have to drill those out as well. And I don't even know if this will go back on once I get the new seal on. So I honestly doubt it. So I need to drill those out and find a different solution to getting the stuff off. I mean, it's caked on there. See, the outside's not that bad. It'll come off. But on the inside here, man, it's like hard as a rock. Will not budge. So I don't really want to use a wire wheel. So let me see what else I can cook up. Well, that was about a month ago, and we never got the door sills put on. we took the old door sills off, and I kind of noticed a little bit of rot. And one drunken night, we welded a little patch panel in there, and nobody set anything on fire.
Fire! Hey driver, how things been? The clock pin ain't kicked in, and I miss my sister's phone. Hey driver.
I can promise you that definitely didn't happen. So either way, after that, I had some other stuff go on where I couldn't put my attention back to this. We got some behind the scenes stuff. Don't worry about what's going on back here. But those will be out soon. Some things have changed since that fateful day. And we're now attempting, today is Sunday. Next Sunday is Import Alliance in Bowling Green, which is where I'm located. And we're going to try to get this ready to go to Import Alliance. Let me give you a little update of what we got done. Brake fluid is filled up. Brakes are bled. They work great. We've done a little bit of wire management. We need to drill a hole and run the wire harness back here for some tail lights, just to rig them up. We got to attach the sheet metal. I'm ordering wheels and tires Monday, and here's hoping they get here. And then we have, what left to do is battery. Right now the battery is mounted on the tire. I know that's not exactly ideal. So what I've done is I've ran to the junkyard. And out of Chevrolet Cobalt, early ones, they have really long battery cables. And they're located in the trunk, and they're very easy to get and cut. And that set, which is like 20 feet of battery cable, is like $10. So for now, I'm just gonna run it right here. So hopefully that works, all good and well. And then I've updated our list here. We've done the test fire, done the brake master, blah, 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 lines and bleed the brakes. We gotta do the gas pedal, radiator, shifter. And then of course, battery, tail lights, sheet metal, wheels and tires, blah, 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 blah. And the rest of the wire harness. So I have a radiator, I have some fans, and we already have throttle figured out. I'll show you that. Throttle mounts right there, just gotta drill some holes. There's already a hole in there for the throttle cable. Here is the pedal, which should mount nicely and reach all the way up there. So I'm probably gonna leave this kind of ghetto right now, just cause time. Shifter should be pretty simple. We have the cable somewhere, I don't know where. Here's the shifter cable, so we just gotta run it under here, mount it somewhere. And I have the shifter over there, and we should be good to go, because as of right now, it starts and runs. We just need accelerator, because we already have brakes. And then the radiator situation, we're gonna clearance. I know it looks like a tight fit, but we're gonna clearance this out. This is plenty sturdy enough, and if anything, I can weld something to the frame right here if it starts, you know, not being very secure. We're gonna clearance this right under here, put the radiator kind of low, and then we just have two inlets to run hoses to. So that should be pretty simple, and I'm using the stock radiator. And measurement-wise, it looks like it's gonna fit. I'm not sure how much this I'm gonna record, because we're gonna be in a time crunch. So hopefully the next video should be a test drive and maybe even go into Import Alliance. Maybe not. We'll see. Nevertheless, like I said, I got some new stuff going on, and I got even more stuff going on. Besides that, I got 2 or 3 more that we're either got here already or working on getting here. So stay tuned.